Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see in front of me, firstly I'll just say a big thank you to everyone that comes to watch my videos. I really do appreciate that. It really does help, and everybody's leaving their comments and all. I love the comments. I love to read what people say. Please feel free to say what you want. I love honesty, so be honest. You know, slag me off, talk nice. Nah, don't slag me off, please. Anyway, I really do appreciate everyone. I just cannot thank everyone enough. And a big welcome to all you newcomers. I really do appreciate that. I will get started now because that's enough of the introduction. Firstly, well, what you see in front of you is that I've actually paused it on the my assistant's, the wife that is, laptop. It's a video she got from my son and my daughter-in-law. In the picture there you see my son and daughter-in-law, and what it is, it's about a hit and run, literally. The yellow belly coward, he drove at my son and tried to run him over, just missing both my daughter-in-law and my son. And in the video, you won't be seeing it like this. I'm not going to play it like that. I'm going to, you know, I will be, I'm going to do editing for the first time actually, and I'm going to put it in I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to let, you know, so that you can pause it and zoom in, whatever you want to do with it. Sorry, but I'll just lift it a little bit further up so you can see the top of the cars. On the road there, that's van there. That's my son's work van. That's his the van he uses for his business. And the silver car there with the tailgate open, that is my son's car, and my daughter-in-law's car. But if you just look further across where it says camera A01, you'll see a silver Mercedes there. And I'll give you the story first before I put the video on. Anyway, what happened was, my son was driving. He went to the shop, got some milk, bread, eggs, whatever. He got his shop and went to the shop, and he came back home and he parked his car onto the street, and that silver Mercedes apparently must have been following him or something. And in the video, you'll see the Mercedes. My son pulls up, then the Mercedes pulls up. My son goes in the house with the stuff he got from the shop. When he came back out, that guy in the Mercedes had the window down and started effing and bland, and my son took no notice because he didn't realise he was talking to him. Anyway, the guy gets out, he walks around to his passenger door and he leans in. Well, at that point you can't see it on camera, but he was actually getting a knife, and he put the knife into his belt, which you can't see on camera because he's got this like big belly, and the belly was stuck in the road of the belt on this side that you see. But the guy is an absolute he's a docile maniac. He is. He's a yellow belly coward maniac, I would say. My son said that he was probably high as a kite, you know, some type of druggie. Then what the guy had done, he'd come out the passenger side, walked round, opened his boot and showed my son an axe. Well, he didn't. He just put the axe on the top of the wood, which unfortunately you can't see because the camera one thing there, but he's got an axe in the boot of his car. Then he plucked up the yellow belly courage he had, and he went towards my son. He opened his mouth to my son, and he said to my son, "I want your name of your insurance company and that." He said, "I've got your address, I've photographed your house and photographed your cars." And my son said, "All right." He said, "Have you had a good time?" He said, "My kids better not be on there." He said, "Because if they are," he said, "I'll do you." And the guy turned down. He says, "Yeah." He said, "You broke my windscreen." He said, "I broke your windscreen." He goes, "Didn't?" He said, "How have I broke your windscreen?" He said, "A stone chip." The muppet, he pulled my son up. He must have followed. My son could only assume that it must have been on the motorway. He didn't say there was nothing out of the ordinary. And this guy claimed that he broke his window screen. Well, chipped his window screen. He's got a stone chip on his window screen. Wow! It doesn't happen to people normally, but it happened to him. But that guy is one dangerous man, people. And later on in this video, you will see I will be putting his registration number up in his car. I'm in the process of finding out his address. I put his registration number up and the car. I've also put a screenshot of his MOT certificate to prove that he already had a stone chip in his front windscreen. The actual stone chip was from 2016. But in the area where it said on his MOT about the stone chip, it was in exactly the same area, but it's slightly bigger than the 10mm, so he knows when he takes that old banger in for an MOT, it's going to fail on that. But I think he's been getting fiddly MOTs for the past couple of years, to be honest, because there's no way that car should have passed. He keeps getting advisory on bald tyres. Anyway, he walked around the front, he said, you're on his shoes, and my son told him, well, my son actually thought it was funny. It's the very first time he's been approached for having, for a stone chip incident. Now, stone chips, you can't even claim off your insurance from stone chips happen. If there is any claims, I think it can be done by the council. I'm not sure, because it's the council's responsibility to keep the roads clean. But if the stone chip gets thrown up, I've had, in my lifetime, I've had about half a dozen windscreens replaced over them. It's just a thing, it's an everyday thing, but this guy, I don't know, it must be the drugs, because my son said, he said he's dead, because my son doesn't know what a druggie looks like, and he said he had the stereo eyes and all this lot. And he showed my son an axe, you know, and he came up with his arms out, being a big man. But if you take a look, you'll see my son is one hell of a big lad. He's 6'6", and I'll tell you what, he can put cowards like him down in a second. The coward didn't want to, the yellow belly coward didn't want to tangle with my son, even though he had an axe and he put a knife in his thing. You could see my son wasn't scared of him, and my son could handle him. Anyway, what happened was, the yellow belly little coward got into his car, the Mercedes, and he done a U-turn. And I'm not going to slow it down, but you'll see it yourself, he done a U-turn. And as you see, instead of taking up the proper lane to drive down the road, he drove straight at my daughter-in-law. Then he recorrected the car a little bit, and to drive into my son. Fortunately for my son, only the side of the car rubbed his jacket and just pushed him against this car. And you can see where after he swerves, he starts swerving back towards the proper side of the road. And then you see my son, he getting up because he like went down on, you know, onto the floor on his knee, and then he turned around and he started running because he would have, you know, he was jacking his car up. He didn't even know that guy was there at first, because the guy had been there for quite some time. And so my son ran at him. But the irony of it is, my daughter-in-law did call the police, and the police said it's not an offence. I remember in the good old days of police, and that is a very, very serious offence. And if it had been me or my son or anyone else back in the day, well, you know, about 10 years ago, before this party got in power because of the cutbacks, the police now deem that hit and runs or is actually classified as attempted murder, because that guy knew he could have killed my son. He also threatened to kill my son when he got into his car. That, in my book and in the law's book in this country, is attempted murder. But the police didn't want to know. They haven't got the manpower to come round. They're too busy moving people on out the parks and all that, and pulling people up over the coronavirus. But the fact is, as far as I'm concerned, it is a very, very, very serious offence, and it is literally on camera here. You can see, people, see for yourself what you can do. You know how to operate your computers. You can zoom in on the point, at the point where he went and drove at my son and all that. You can do all that lot. Unfortunately, my son's CCTV does not have the sound on it, but it's all there, and it's in excellent full high definition. You can zoom in on that. I'm just going to play the raw file. I'm not actually going to play. I'm not going to mess with it in any way. You're going to see the raw file. It comes in 2 parts because it records a video for so much and then stops when there's any movement. So when my son pulled up, you know, the movement came. But yes, I would say that is definitely attempted murder. And that coward, he wouldn't approach my son any further because he knew he couldn't handle my son. And he got a cowardly way, got into his car, and then things. So now the police have said that that is not an offence. Cleveland police, everyone. So if anyone that's watching this lives in the Cleveland area of the UK, my advice: keep your eye on that car. Watch out for it, because if he ever pulls you or does something, be prepared, because he's got a knife and an axe, and the guy looks prepared to use it too. Now, I don't know what his game was, but he had a stone chip on his windscreen in 2016, where it was putting an advisory on his MOT. I'll do some screenshots of them, and you'll see that he's not even repairing the advisory stuff, because they're on the year after year on the MOTs on that car. It's done 350 miles, 1,000 miles. It's an old banger. Anyway, my daughter-in-law didn't even know that he was driving that, and neither did my son. But the thing is that the car actually touched my son, but my son said, it was just kind of like the car brushed against most of his clothing. That's how close he was to my son to hit him. He did attempt to hit my son. That's how much of a coward, a yellow belly coward he is. And he doesn't scare my son. And I'll tell you what, I am disabled, and but I'll tell you what, I think, give me 1 second with that yellow belly coward and I'll put him down. He is a coward, but he's the worst kind of coward you will ever see. Anyway, that's enough. This is the introduction, so be careful. I'll just show you there. On here, that's the silver Mercedes. I'll just put it up. There's the silver Mercedes there. He does a U-turn around there. Now, there is the lines. The lines are there. All right? That's the side of the road he should have went on when he done a U-turn and went on that side of the road. But you'll see him come round, swerve, comes straight over these lines here towards my daughter-in-law, and then then you see, unfortunately, you can't see my son because he's behind the car. Then he'll swerve after basically he did hit my son. After hitting my son, he swerved off and drove onto the right side of the road there. You'll see the car come round and swerve, literally swerve at him. So yes, people, this is the first time you've seen a yellow belly coward drive a motor vehicle at another man and a woman, attempting to kill them, and it's not a serious offence. The police don't want to know. Cleveland police do not want to know because of the cutbacks. I'm not picking on the police. Believe me, people, I am not picking on the police. I am 100% behind the police. They're dead right, because it is cutbacks. I mean, this party, like it did with the NHS, is hacked the police force, the fire, the NHS. They've hacked it to pieces. Boris Johnson's wrecked all this lot. And we've got the coronavirus, and it's proof they can't handle it. Now we've got attempted murder, and it's just a misdemeanor. It's not even a misdemeanor because the police can't be bothered with it. They can't do it because they're too busy. And truth is, they are too busy. The government's got them out pulling people up over coronavirus, so that all crimes have to stay. So at present now, it's like the movie, everyone. The movie that I think it's called, what's that movie called? My assistant, my wife, that is. What? The Purge. Everyone, it's purge time, I think. Get out there, murder someone, kill someone, you'll get away with it, because it's a misdemeanor now. It doesn't mean out. The police won't arrest you, don't worry about it. It doesn't mean out, you know. Because if yellow belly cowards like that can get away with it, and not be arrested, prosecuted, or anything for a serious, it was a serious offence that about as far back as, well, as early as 10 years ago. I'm not sure now. I think this government has now recategorised all crimes, and they're saying, you know, I think if you actually murdered someone, don't murder anyone. You know, yeah, I wouldn't do that, because I think you might get arrested. There's a slim chance you might get arrested for it, but obviously, yeah, a very serious offence as far as I'm concerned, and it still is. I think it's just this government's told the police force to do nothing about it, about stuff like this. You know, attempted murder. Anyway, I'll leave you watch the video. I will include a screenshot of his MOTs. I will also include a photograph my son took at the scene of his car, so have a clear view of his registration. And please, anyone in Cleveland of the UK, that's the whole of Cleveland, if you ever run across him, be careful, be careful. He has a knife and an axe, and it looks like he's willing to use it. So I will say my goodbyes now, and my appreciation to everyone. And I hope this lets people see in the UK that the police aren't going to do anything about serious offences like this. Goodbye. Oh, watch the video first. Yeah. The video's going after. I meant to say, the video will be playing after this. Straight after this. Goodbye.